obeying the law. Once again, prepare for war. CZW, eye for an eye.
Guys, this is Dr. Larry. This is the panel review show, and we're gonna talk here. Of course, there's a bunch of big shows that happened over the weekend, whether it's New Beginning with New Japan, whether, of course, it's the Elimination Chamber with Danhausen, whether it was, Uno Dos Tres, that was a couple days before, or, I'm also gonna talk about Dragon Gate later on. You'll hear me and Tay talking Dragon Gate. It was a pretty damn good show, the one from Koruaken Hall. But we also got hey Corey, before we get to that, what do you think of Uno Dos Tres, Corey?
So I haven't watched everything yet, but I listened to the Open the Voice Gate episode on it, and it was honestly one of the best episodes of that podcast because the outrage around it. And I told you this, and you were like, "What are you talking about? It was a good show." I'm like, "I know, but dude, like people are hitting the panic button."
Dude, they hate Gaja Kadora. They hate
and I don't get it. I like Gaja Gador.
It's still hard to say. It's so hard to say.
Yeah.
I know. But I'm liking, people are saying that Kakuda's been boring as Shanghai. Like, no, he's a heel bully chat. He's supposed to be like not give it. He's supposed to cheat. He's supposed to be working like a heel to win. And even though he wins dominantly, like that's of course what he's supposed to do. So he's setting up the guy to beat him. He's not setting himself up. And he started setting himself up because he's also great on the mic. This dude could talk shit. Like this dude and Ishin, that's all you need to do, cut promos for the group.
Well, I think that's the problem. Everyone's getting a little ahead of themselves, excited on Ishin, and they're thinking like, "Oh, fuck Kakuda. He was the last flavor of the month," and it's like, no, Kakuda is dope. Kakuda is tremendous. Where did he fall off? I don't get it.
Look, this is the guy that makes the ass bump, like the rear view. That's what she calls it, the rear view. Look like death.
Yes.
Like when he hits that hip attack on anybody, like you see their head whip back and like he throws his ass at them. Now we're talking about throwing ass. Pause.
He backs that thing up, man.
He backs that thing up. That thing is thangin'. And there's this, love and peace, sort of losing the belts to Natural Vibes. People aren't really in with Aki yet. It's kind of weird for me to say Aki because I know people in the Northeast what they say with Aki. I still don't know how Guichi is spelled. It's spelled Guc and that's Guichi, but I guess that's Guichi. Taykzy is going to carry that team. They didn't really have to win the belts. I didn't want them to win the belts. Love and Peace should have held those belts longer. But I still see brightness for Dragon Gate, and you're going to hear us talk about the Koruaken show later. But here I'm gonna give my little soliloquy because, guys, how long has CZW been in business?
27 years.
27 years. This is a fucking grown ass man.
I feel old.
Dude, well, I feel so old about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna send shouts. I'm gonna do my shout outs to the guys, the guys who made this company from where it was at the beginning. Even though people are gonna be mad. Shout out to John Zandig. You created this company and still not doing it to this day.
Yeah. Zandig. Lobo.
Shout out to Lobo. Shout out to Nate Hatred.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Shout out to Danny Havoc. Trent Acid. Damn, I'm about to get sad. Yeah. Shout out to the guys who aren't here with us anymore to celebrate it, but you guys are a big part of why. Shout out to Brody Lee.
Yep.
The guys who aren't here with us to celebrate it, still being here, and you guys laid the foundation for a wrestling promotion that thankfully under, DJ Hyde, say what you will about him, but he's still giving guys paydays. He's still giving the young generation a place to work. Shout out to you, Frank Hartgrave. You're gonna hear him on. I'm sorry we couldn't get that show on, man. It was my bad. But we talked about it. We'll talk about it. And just 27 years of CZW. It's more than just the blood. It's more than just the guts, the gore. CZW. I was about to do my Moxie voice, but the CZW has been a place where a lot of young guys went to like sort of like get their first steps in America. And I'm talking about guys like Kevin Steen, talking about
Yep.
guys like El Generico, talking about guys like Davey Richards,
Sexy
uh,
Eddie,
Sexy
Eddie,
Eddie.
yeah.
I'm talking about you
Green
know,
Phantom.
Green
Green
Phantom.
Phantom, yeah.
We're talking about Blackout.
Ruckus, Sabin.
Yeah, talking about the homie Big Pimpin. Ayo, H Tizzle, shout out to you, Human Tornado.
Eddie Kingston.
Fuck yeah.
Where the fuck's my Newports at? Eddie,
Blackout.
yeah, I'm talking
Frankie the
about
Mobster.
Frankie the Mobster.
Oh God, his promo.
Nick Burke.
God. Now
Frankie
I'm
the
remembering
Mobster
all these
promos
guys.
back in the day. Holy.
Oh my god. This
Oh
just
shit.
devolves into us naming obscure fucking CZW
Frankie the
guys.
Mobster's promos back in the day on the pre-show things, on the DVDs or the downloads or whatever. Some of the most hilarious yet politically incorrect and obscene things I have ever heard in my life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You're gonna hear us talk about it one day, but like we're talking about like the CZW Ring of Honor, a Cage of Death. Oh, by
Yes.
the way, fuck you, Jim Cornette.
that,
just in
that episode is
general,
coming.
but
That
Just in
episode
general.
I'll give people an exclusive here as the schedule wise. That Cage of Death episode is going to be the episode after the Doom Kasai series is done. So there you go. Look out for it in about a month or two.
Yeah.
damn.
Yes, people. The good way to podcast, as I've done with Matt here, is record a lot of stuff and like store it up so you don't have to think about it. Yeah, I'm sorry, people that I've interviewed last year that your hasn't come out yet, but it'll come out soon. But CZW, the matches, the legacy of violence, they've also had some really good wrestling there. A couple of my favorite guys, California guys, Excalibur, Super Dragon came through there, B-Boy. Who could forget Mokujin Ken giving B-Boy and Super Dragon the business? Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Dragon made his debut in the Combat Zone.
yeah. But yeah, we're here to talk a little bit about the 27th anniversary. I watched a lot of it the first night. There was supposed to be one night of no death match, but the main event was a death match.
Mm.
And I liked it. There was a shark run in. Friend of the show, Mr. Hargrave, did all of the commentary. And
I really liked him on commentary.
Yeah, I did. It was.
I
I
did.
thought he also knew how to tell the history when it was needed. So he wasn't just like throwing it in just willy nilly kind of thing,
yeah,
What I
'cause-
have liked now, I would have maybe liked them to. I don't know if they honored Godzilla or House at any point during the weekend because I only watched the deathmatch show.
Hmm.
But I would have liked them to have been honored in some form. I hope they were.
yeah. I believe there was some guy who got mad that they were inducting Danny Havoc into the CZW Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Aaron Ash came out, joined the induction to an angle, and like, why am I not both on this show? And it led to him getting cake in the face. I will get to that in a minute because it's kind of brings up an announcement that I'll get to near the end there.
Yeah. The match that really stood out to me on that first night was the one not death match. The one death match there, Brew Vallon versus Brandon Watts. They did a lot. They did a lot here. They had a VHS palette. And they had thumbtacks, which is what you need. They had a flaming table. They had a bunch of baby sharks do a run in. It was very entertaining. It was a very entertaining show. Again, not all of it was deathmatch. It was a great showcase of the new talent they had, with a focus on the new talent. And
Yeah.
I gotta say, Watts and Valen put on a pretty great main event, and I'm a little still buzzing on that. Matt, what did you watch of the anniversary?
I watched the Deathmatch show.
All right.
I know. Surprise. Deathmatch guy. There's a Deathmatch podcast. Watch the Deathmatch show of the weekend. Yeah. Yeah. Very good card. The actual title for it, which I don't think they actually officially named it as, but for some reason Cage Match has it down as 27th Anniversary Deej and Rick's Ultraviolet Adventure.
Oh wow, brother.
Because I think Mickey Shane Page was co-promoting this. I think he's like co-booker there now.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
Yeah. So I started from the Ides of March deathmatch because when we spoke to Frank for the Masada Jun Kasai episode, I asked him if he had any idea what was going to go on for this, and he had no clue. And when the first thing you see is, well, Larry Legend is saying fuckery about 10 million times, so don't do a drinking game during these shows, folks.
Fuckery.
Yeah, I think that was every other word before this match died. I'm like, I'm not doing a drinking game. It was Mickey Knuckles versus Angel Metro. Mickey, of course, being the veteran here, and Angel being someone relatively new in the deathmatch scene. And this I have to say, out of the whole show, this was definitely my match of the night. Because first thing Mickey does as she comes out, she's got 2 axes that she's carrying, right? 2 battle axes.
That's cool.
And it leads to her whacking Angel Metro with the axe in a uncomfortable place.
Oh.
Pretty much within the first few minutes. I think Frank made something about an axe wound joke, but yeah.
Yeah. Gotta love that.
There was a throne with light tubes on that was used towards the finish. There was glass frames, barbed wire crown that Mickey was wearing as she came out. Bunch of stuff. We had Jameson Shook make his Combat Zone debut. TWE champion. He had a busy weekend. And he was in a ladders and light tubes deathmatch against Eric Dillinger. Did not get the win, but showed a valiant effort. Deathmatch Diva. He definitely got a good response from the CZW crowd there. So I'm hoping that it does lead to more bookings for him. Jimmy Controversy came out to basically bitch and moan about not being booked on the show. He said he was going to take the place of Alex Colon, who sadly was injured and couldn't be in the ultraviolet elimination scramble. Then the bells toll, and Nick Gage makes a surprise appearance to the Combat Zone for the first time in quite some time outside of a tournament of death. Basically beat the shit out of Jimmy and took Alex Colon's spot in the main event.
Speaking of Metallica, Master, 40 years?
40 years on the day we record this. I feel old. He's not Judge Joe Dredd anymore. He's actually just Dredd now. He had a bit of a...
He's no longer the law, huh?
He had a bit of a character change, apparently, a couple of shows ago. So he decided he wanted the whole stigma of people comparing him to Ricky Shane Page all the time to be reckoned with. So it was him versus Ricky in a barbed wire mountain death match. But basically the rule was you put your opponent through the fuckery of a mountain that was outside. As soon as you do that, you get the win. Dredd actually got the biggest win of his career here, I think.
Awesome.
I was surprised that he beat Ricky, but hey, I'll give Ricky credit for letting him get the new talent up there. And then we have the main event of the Ultra Violence. Now, I'm going to say this because I could have sworn I heard Larry call it the Ultra Violent Underground title, at the end, but I don't think that's what they're calling it going forward. Just the ultraviolet title, violent title.
Hmm.
And it was an elimination scramble between Eric Ryan, Prince of the Deathmatch, multiple time winner, Hoodfoot, fucking with a different boy, Jimmy Lloyd, Lucky 13, Nick fucking Gage, and Slap.
Wow.
Nice moments in this was mostly the history between everybody involved, and an alliance, it seems, has been formed by Lucky 13 and Angel Metro. She helped Lucky basically get rid of Nick Gage from the elimination tournament, and Eric Ryan and Jimmy Lloyd. It came down to Hoodfoot and Slack. Slack wins. And my picks were, well, Slack wasn't my pick. Sadly, if I was betting on Polymarket for this, I would have lost. My picks were Cologne and Ryan and Hoodfoot. And then Cologne got injured, so that got changed to Gage and Hoodfoot by the time the show happened. By the time I watched the show. Because basically Monday, if you wondered how my Twitter timeline was CZW 27 Monday morning, that's because I was watching this show. Because for some reason my thing wasn't cooperating when I tried to watch it live, so I thought, wait a few hours, you know. But yeah, good. The biggest, go on.
No, go ahead, man.
The biggest announcement, though, out of the entire thing was this was during the Danny Havoc induction into the Deathmatch Hall of Fame. Loved the video package to Youngwee Malmsteen's "I Am a Viking." I thought that was very well done. They surprised Ricky and DJ with a cake since it was both their birthdays. Aaron Ash came out, complained why he wasn't booked on the show. DJ called him a fat piece of shit, which, well, great, and said some shit, and then Aaron got cake in the face and then ran off. And then DJ Hyde announced that for the first time ever, September the 5th and 6th, Tournament of Death is going 2 days. And here's the thing, this is not the only Tournament of Death happening in September. The UK is going to get Tournament of Death in the middle of September as well via TNT Extreme. So, big month of Tournament of Death there. And overall, very good show. I'm happy that CZW are now back doing the, I guess they want to split the thing in two now. So there's one deathmatch show and one regular wrestling show, maybe with an added deathmatch if you're lucky. Which is different for me to how I'm used to with CZW, but I welcome it. I hope there's more of this kind of weekender stuff that they're doing. And yeah, happy 27th anniversary to Combat Zone. Let it rain for many years as it possibly can. There we go. Now I know there's one show that you and I both watched this weekend, Doc, and that is a show that friend of Deathmatch Loyalty and Slam Masters Entertainment System, Deathmatch Loyalty and Slam Masters Entertainment System put on in Phil Schneider.
Yeah, and we're definitely gonna get right to that.
CZW, laying the law once again. Prepare for war. CZW, eye for an eye. Out of here. Ultra violence, gated death tonight. At the arena of Red Spawn, gated death. Ray blood, grilling out, drinking Jack. Homicide, going down, breaks for the tan. Golden boy. Pay-per-view, all for you. It's all new. It's easy. Eye for an eye. We're gonna die. It's a cage of life. Richie Swan, he's the man. Get out of tan.
We're about to talk, Action Dean, Action Wrestling, Death Valley Days, from the TWE arena. Unfortunately, Corey is no longer in the house. Go to Troubles Wrestling, listen to his podcast from Crockett to Chaos. Corey's not in the house anymore. So, were you saying something about?
Yeah. Friend of the show, friend of Deathmatch Royally and Slam Masters Entertainment System, friend of the whole prescription polypod scene, Phil Schneider, with Segunda Caída, booked the show with Action Wrestling. And I have got to say, I absolutely loved that this show was on a night where a certain company was doing. At the same time, my timeline was being filled with discourse about fucking Danhausen. Danhausen.
Man,
Do a Ricky Starks impression there.
that pretty much sums up his entire being, man.
Well, this is the thing. I really, after seeing clips, after seeing that entrance, I will say, this is the only time I'm going to talk about the Danhausen stuff, which is one. The entrance was fine. I liked the Elvira Danhausen hybrid that was going on with the dancers and whatever. Secondly, I liked the fact that the next night you had this whole thing where he was just saying, okay, thanks for the entrance. Now I want the blimp and all this, which just made me think of that scene in The Simpsons where Homer goes, it's something like, Danhausen should be louder, angrier, and have a time machine. Yeah. And then when Danhausen's not on screen, all of the other characters should be asking, where's Danhausen? It just felt like that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, maybe don't do something like that for a pay-per-view.
That went over like a fart in the church, man.
It did. It just shows that they don't see, they think that their crowd is very internet pilled, and the majority of the crowd are not as pilled as they think they are.
Look, Saudi Arabia has more smarks than Chicago, apparently.
I guess so. And yet they're doing nothing with voice keys.
Yeah,
Make of that what you will. Anyway, Action Death Valley Days Road Report. I really loved it. It was 2 hours, 2 hours 30 if you count the intermission when you're watching live. I loved it. I loved that it was a mixture of things as well. Yeah, I loved the fact that you basically had Darian Bank. It was basically, in the case of Bankston and Owens, you had guys that people know well from like Action and TWE take on unknown guys, like Ryan Mooney, who took on Bankston in a pretty good opener, and Owens took on Adrian Alanis. My only complaint about that match, it was heel versus heel. And I didn't really need that. They put on a great match, but some of the heel stuff got a bit distracting. The comedy match worked for what it was, with Leg Strong and the wonderfully named Old Man Young Boy.
Old Man Young Boy. I love that.
Yeah, it's from the New Japan LA Dojo. So God knows who. If Shibata came up with the name Old Man Young Boy, I fucking love Shibata even more than I already do.
Shibata is a jokester like that. Yeah, there was also that they had a big boy match on this show. Also, I forget who that
Broner
was.
versus Big Jake.
Broner, man, that he got him up for that F5 was insane.
Yes. Oh, I'm so happy that Isaiah's going to be in the Scenic City Invitational this year, alongside Jameson and Tommy Davis, who won the Action Showcase on the last set. on the Saturday of it.
And I know you and Corey both love the Slim J. Was it what did he fight?
Slim J versus Tim Bosby with Dylan
Yeah,
Hales in matching tracksuits.
gotta love that. I like that they were using managers on this show because I love seconds, thirds
Mhm.
even. Um, that was a fun little match. We had what was it? Okay,
You
like I didn't like I didn't like the fire up spot by one Mr. Slim J. But
you weren't
I'm a
sure.
big fan. I'm a big fan of Slim J,
Yeah,
but I'm not a fan of his striking at that point. But like he's showing something here. He's doing his wrestling. Uh, he's like what like almost like a quarter century in,
yeah, pretty
and
much.
I
I
know you
mean,
guys
check
like that
out.
match.
I mean, have you seen the match he did with Adam Priest on the first year?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that's a good match. If
Yeah.
you, this was a good, this was a good match. I love that. My best spot is the spot that's pretty much been gift everywhere, which is Bosby's got Slim J and the Dragon Sleeper, and then decides, right, I'm gonna spin him fucking around as well. So it's like 3 spins around, then back down. But Bosby's recent streak of losses kind of continue as Dylan's interference backfires yet again and costs him the match. I think it's the first time Tim has lost in the TWE arena in a singles match anyway.
Yeah.
So big deal there. Curious
Uh,
to see who they get in the at the next show for him.
and then we have our first sighting of friend of the show, Reverend Dan Wilson.
Yes,
Uh, in our first death match of the show, it is Toby Klein making his return to pro wrestling. Uh,
Mr. Insanity.
I man, there were some spots in here. I love the hacksaw to the forehead. I love that. I love that they didn't let the table botch just bother them. I think
Yeah.
that was great because it's still gonna hurt when you do a splash like that because you don't know how the table's gonna cut, as we've
Oh yeah,
seen
sure.
with Kenta
Mm.
or Bob
I got
Holly.
episode 4 Deathmatch royalty for that.
Yeah, go, please watch that. We did that with Ahmad Graps. Great little match there we called. Um, I'm gonna say this about the Reverend, the good Reverend.
Hmm.
Independent managers, they don't get appreciated as much. But I love the dedication to. I'm not gonna say it's a gimmick. I'm sure that's his real face. I'm not sure if that's face paint or not. But it was bloody.
No. Corpse paint. Corpse paint.
Corpse paint. Like I thought the match was brutal enough. It was violent enough, and didn't overstay their welcome. Uh,
Yeah. And honestly, the Killbilly, Nathan Mowry, fucking one of the best rising stars in the world of deathmatch. So having him beat a legend like Mr. Insanity is a great thing for him. Sky
yes,
is the
sir.
fucking limit for him. We
Uh,
then had the TWE title was on the line as the deathmatch diva Jameson Shook took on the Bloodbath Behemoth, and along with Dolly Rebecca Parton, one of the 2 Tennessee treasures. That's my best Dan Wilson impression. In Tank.
Man,
Um,
I haven't seen this dude in forever.
oh, he has been doing great in recent years. He was great in the SCI a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
His stuff in ICW No Holds Barred has been fucking brilliant.
yeah.
As they mentioned on commentary, he recently retired from ICW NHB doing anything in the chains. But that was a great weekend. The weekend before, which I strongly recommend you check out, ICW NHB 91 and 92. Yeah, Jameson getting the big win against Tank after, well, essentially, he owed the Rev and Tank a favor because Jameson took Jaden Newman away from the Coven of the Goat to form
Yeah.
4528. And sadly, of course, Jaden is out of action at the moment. But I think he did a great commentary job, by the way, for the matches he was on. I
Yeah,
thought he did
yeah.
really good at that.
Absolutely great. And that brings us to our main event: Slade versus the master of the dog collar, Mad Dog Connolly,
The
in what
Master was
was
booked as the main event.
yeah
We'll explain why we say it that way in a minute.
yeah it was advertised as a dog collar match, but I mean there was a dog collar in it. The
Mm.
dog collar played into the finish, but it was not a dog collar match.
I kind of like, weird as that sounds. I don't remember it entirely being advertised as a dog collar match, but maybe
I think it was
Mandela effect.
advertised as a death match.
Yeah, I might have been Mandela affecting myself there, but I was glad it wasn't a dog collar match because um, my worry with, as much as I love Mad Dog doing the dog collar stuff, I don't want it to get too stale too quick. So him
Yeah,
versus Blade, if we're gonna make, if what I presume, what Matt Griffin, Phil, and Eric are trying to do is build it into a series of matches between Mad Dog and Slade, a la the Demus ones. I am all down for the
those
rematch being a dog collar match at the next Team show or Death Valley style show.
dude, those headbutts,
Oh my god.
insane.
I have not heard loud headbutts like that since either Shigehiro Iri, or the time Fuminori Abe did it to Violence is Forever at WXW about a year or
Just
two ago.
just nasty headbutts. I like that it was short. Like I saw like the end of time. It was like 52 minutes and it ended before the match started. They were at 52 minutes and the end of the thing is like 58 minutes, right? So it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna be fun. And they brawled all over the arena. They hit each other hard. Mad Dog got him with the Hangman's choke with the chain assist, and it was good. It was good. Slade really looks like a criminal, like he just got out of prison.
I believe, for those that haven't listened to the Phil episode, I believe Phil mentioned how he was trying to book Slade versus Mad Dog for the first Dean show, but Slade legitimately was in Rikers Island at the time, so couldn't
Yo,
happen.
yo, absolutely love that. Again, listen to Phil on both of our shows. Completely different shows, and just like here, it's not all deathmatch. It's not all just straight up wrestling. Hell, there was no luchas on here. So that brings us, of course, to what was my main event. It wasn't the main event, but it was my main event.
I think it was a lot of people's main event when it got announced.
Yeah. We have
Oh,
Matt the Mako Shark Makowski versus Carl Greco Malenko
oh,
making his
fucking
return.
Malenko.
Fucking A, man. 15 years retired. Battle Arts rules. If you love grappling, if you're a grappling fanatic like me and you love seeing guys flow roll and trade submissions and do all this thing, and you will believe an old man can beat this younger guy, because for as old as he looked with the gray hair and the gray mustache, he did not move like he had any rust in his joints. This man
No,
was like, he was a
absolutely not.
madman. He looked exactly how he looked like going against Tamura. This is insane. It
and
was
and
insane.
keep in mind, Carl here. One, he's the only old guy in wrestling that looks cool actually dragging along a sledgehammer with him, unlike certain other people.
Yeah.
And two, he's taking on a former Strike Force / Elite XC fighter in Matt Mako. So it's like,
And it didn't look out of place. They
nope.
looked they looked to be like in the same sort of like level, and I that takes a lot of believability. And he was throwing those kicks like nothing. He still has
I
the flexibility, the dexterity to throw those like roundhouse kicks. Loved it. Love the stiffness. Love like the snugness of the submissions. When he was working and he got the back of Mako and did like basically did like a Superman pose off of his back. Uh, tremendous stuff there. I would recommend if you're gonna watch any match from this Death Valley Day show, watch this match. I'm
Yeah,
really looking forward to what they have in store for the next show. Phil's been posting gifs of Super Dragon, so
as you know.
yeah.
What I'm hoping, honestly, I would love a rematch between Carl and Matt down the line. What I really want to see, well, there's two matches I want to see Carl do. I don't think one of them's going to happen. One has more likelihood to happen than the other one, which is Daniel Maccabee comes out of retirement, face Carl Malenko, and Timothy Thatcher taking on Carl Malenko.
I don't know about that. Maybe for a blood sport, because I just you just made me want Fumanari Abe. You made me want Brian Danielson. You
Yeah.
made me want Kyle O'Reilly. You made me
Mm,
want, dude. I I would love to see Mox versus Karl Malenko.
yes.
I
Bill, if you're listening, you've got connections with Tony Khan. Mox versus Malenko would fucking go down a storm.
Yeah, man. You wanna make that card at the Palms have people go to there, get Mox on that card, on one of those cards, on any of those cards. Um, but yeah, man, it was an enjoyable card for me to watch. Very, it was so much better to watch that than Elimination Chamber.
Oh God.
You guys are gonna hear that review later on. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm not
Obviously,
gonna be there for that
I had a good
one.
time I had a good time with this. I had a real good time with this. It was pro wrestling. It was independent pro wrestling. It's everything you want. All the
It's
aesthetics of a
my
small
show.
building.
At the moment, it's my show of 2026, and it's going to be very fucking hard to beat that. The only thing that possibly can beat it is probably another Action Dean show at this point.
Hey, hey, here we go.
Everyone's got to
Again,
step the fuck up.
we are not paid shills for this. No, we're doing this for the love of the
No.
game, man.
Yes.
I would give me more Karl Malenko, give me more Matt Don Connolly. Give me more Broner. I like
I
Broner.
would also love on. I would also love on an Action Dean show. I would love a women's death match at some point
Oh yeah.
as well.
Get Dean's kid in here, please. I saw her on Magic Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
She's good, man. She's real good. You could believe that she's Dean Malenko's daughter. Um,
Yeah.
uh, third generation Malenko. Let's yeah, that is of course our review of Death Valley Days. Matt, thank you for coming here and doing the reviews for the 27th anniversary of CZW and Death Valley Days. Phil, please come on. Yeah, yeah. So, there's been this joke about Corey getting a circumcision live on an Action Dean show and me doing commentary. We'll do it for free. We'll do it for free. Um, we'll do it live, pal. But yeah, man. Maybe you'll join us later. But this has been our review of CZW and Action Wrestling. Matt, where can people get you?
As always, you can find me on Substack at the Harvest Podcast Network, all one word, where you can find the podcast Deathmatch Royalty, in which Dark and I and special guests, including the likes of Troubles Wrestling, Corey, Phil Schneider, Loverboy Timothy Flowers, Frank Hargreave from CZW, and more, join us to talk about the best and the craziest in the world of deathmatch wrestling. You can
Yeah.
also find me on selective episodes of Doc's podcast, um, Slam Masters Entertainment System, in which Dark and special guests also talk about matches that are not of a deathmatch variety, but pretty damn good nonetheless.
Yeah.
The first episode is myself, Troubles Wrestling, Phil Schneider, and Dark calling from August 1991 EMLL Atlantis versus Blue Panther for the NWA World Welterweight title. And
Yeah,
it is
my favorite
my
wrestler's favorite wrestler.
yes.
Oh man. And I made that announcement on on our flagship State of Wrestling I'm not calling it the flagship, but like we're about to start our WrestleMania week because it is going to be the road to WrestleMania. No, we're not affiliated with WWE. No, I'm not getting cheese boards on my in my mailbox. No,
No. I mean,
no,
we do
none of
like
that.
cheese,
I
but
like
we don't like
cheese.
no.
Yeah, I can afford my own cheese boards and my own charcuterie.
Yeah.
No, I also love like those sweet little dill pickles you get with it, but
Mm,
I'm not getting any of that. I don't think Matt's getting any of that. We sort of do this
no.
for the love of the game, but um, we're starting the WrestleMania series. I think we're going to be starting it by next week, and you're going to be you know, you'll be surprised by the guests we have on there, by the matches we're gonna call. It's not a countdown of like the greatest WrestleMania matches. No, these are just matches that I love to call and that people are personally connected to, have that personal story with. And you can hear Matt on a ton of those.
Two of them at
And
least.
yeah, at least two of them. And this it's time for WrestleMania. And I just wanted to take a cue from the co-chairs from the lap span, because their first journey into this whole thing was through WrestleMania. So I might as well, because I'm part Chinese, so I might as well do a knockoff of it. And we're doing
Who's your
our
Dave
little
Meltzer then?
dude. I think I'm playing the Dave's part in here. Dude,
Yeah.
no, I'm missing. I should have asked Dave to like do exactly the same thing.
Wade Keller.
But
Get Wade Keller.
oh, dude, okay, I'm way ahead of you. Way ahead of you. But yeah, we're talking about WrestleMania. There's a couple of matches there that I think people will. No, there's going to be a couple matches there people aren't going to expect, and there's definitely going to be a lot of stories being told. So yeah,
Yeah.
look for that coming up in the next coming week. Uh, After this, you're probably going to hear me and Tay talk about some Dragon Gate, some new beginnings. Uh, Matt, brother, thank you for coming. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Always a pleasure to have you for these marathon tapings that we do. And I know we made that joke on the show on State of Wrestling, yes, that came out today, where Arturo was like, yeah, so when you did that crying promo, that was your Cherry Funk Forever. And I'm back. uh, as one Mr. Phil Brooks said, I'm back. But anyway, it's this is gonna be you guys are gonna hear a lot of me on this show, so I'm just gonna shut up and say on with the show. Here we go.
Nico, 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 Nico,
Hello. This is Doc. This is Larry, and I'm here with my sister, Maicey. Need you to talk louder.
Hello.
And we are talking, of course, some of our thoughts on the Elimination Chamber from 2026. I forgot the matches, but we're gonna start off hot. We're gonna go with the men's main event, the men's Elimination Chamber. What did you think about it?
It was great, actually. Good action. The winner was pretty unpredictable, and it was an unpredictable winner in a bad way. And all the interferences from Seth Rollins, even though Seth Rollins literally did kind of interference last year, it was impactful, and that's all that matters. If the surprise element, even if it's something that's a repeat, if they did it in a different way where it was impactful, that means it was good.
Yeah. I know you're a Seth stan, so.
I think that this is a very if I were to give the men's elimination chamber like a rating, it would definitely be like a B or a B plus.
I thought it was Javon Evans was pretty cool in it. I thought they didn't really have Trick Williams do anything. Like he just was there to be an entrance. Like he's like kind of the new Jey Uso with that entrance, instead of yeeting, we're whooping that trick. I thought the work from I hate saying this, the work from Logan Paul was good. I hate saying that. Every time I watch him work, like he's good. It's Cody, of course, losing. Cody losing. I was so happy Cody lost because you know how much I am a big fan of the Codester. Just I didn't know if it was gonna be like I kind of thought it might have been somebody else that would have won. Like if I was thinking like with my head, maybe like they could have been crazy and went with Javon Evans, but no, the WWE is never gonna push someone under 40. Come on. But I did mark for the RKO at the end because I was like, oh man, it's totally gonna be an RKO on McIntyre and then Cody's gonna do the crossroads. But no, they reversed it. So I was kind of happy to see Randy Orton win. Mostly because I don't like Cody Rhodes and I'm so tired of Cody versus Drew, and I know that's gonna happen on SmackDown. But like, aren't you tired of that matchup?
Yeah, that match doesn't have any appeal to me. They're former tag team champions with each other.
They already did the 3 stages of hell in Berlin, and Cody lost. That should be it.
No, the more compelling story to tell would be Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes somewhere down the line, and with Cody Rhodes as the heel.
They're gonna give Randy Orton number 15, or is it 15 or 16? He's gonna win.
I would be okay with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes feuding for the WWE title down the line with, like I said, with Randy Orton as a face and Cody, you know, acting like he's his friend and actually attacking everybody to get that way to Randy Orton. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, hey.
That's long-term storytelling.
I think that Cody should go heel. I think that's the way it should go.
Cody's a great heel.
When he wants to be. And now he's liking post of the dashing Cody Rhodes, undashing Cody. So let's see where we go from here. The women's Elimination Chamber, you know, it was a bit more predictable. Because, you know, of course, eat, sleep, breathe, the demons in your knees. Rhea won, and now we're going to have a Muscle Woman match. The build for it is pretty weird. They're using shoot tactics on that, where the women are saying, oh, nobody likes you. And then the funny other one was the other women's program for WrestleMania is Liv using her white privilege and being a face versus Stephanie Vaquer, who had to work her way to WWE. The women's match was worked pretty well. I mean, how could it not be worked well with those people in there? Rhea is always going to be a standout to me. I like Rhea in the ring.
I would have preferred if Liv Morgan was... If they did it differently and Liv Morgan didn't win the Royal Rumble, someone else did, I don't know who would have won the Royal Rumble.
I would have known Rhea.
Yeah. And because, of course, Rhea Ripley had to be in the main event somehow. But then it kind of does, if you think about it, it does kind of go into that thing where they're doing this, probably doing a work shoot between Jade and Rhea. Like, how come she always gets to be inserted into these matches, too? Like... Is she really in the ears of the writers, like saying that, or to the creative that, oh, she needs to be in this match? And obviously she's very popular, and obviously Rhea Ripley is one of my favorite wrestlers too.
What else are they gonna do with her? Because they already had her lose the belts with Io.
Yep, it's one they wrote themselves into a corner, especially with Bianca.
She's still injured.
Being injured still,
and Naomi is still on her maternity leave.
And on top of that, who knows when Bianca's gonna be back? Her recovery is not going that well.
Yeah.
On her finger, I've seen the training. It's like that looks very tedious.
Oh yeah, because
it's like your going down to her wrist,
your hand bones and your knuckles. Like there's other wrestlers like Mark Davis in AEW, Bandito in AEW. They were out. I mean, that Bandito was out for 18 months with the hand injury, and they kept having to reset it and do anything. And this is her first surgery. This is her first surgery on her hand. So we'll see where she's at, like, you know, in a couple months.
But here's the thing. Even if Bianca had come back, like, having her win the Royal Rumble for 2 years also, like, she already won the Royal Rumble before, even though that was...
But it would have been a surprise if she came.
Yeah,
back. That would have been the thing.
And then if she won the elimination, but what I'm trying to say is like they're having repeat challengers that they've had. So and then it goes with that problem that WWE is not building new stars.
The whole main event of CM Punk and Roman, it's so boring. They had that main event last year when they had that match, and CM Punk all he did was laid outside. And this time they don't have Seth Rollins. Maybe they put Seth Rollins in this match.
No, someone had to ask for... You know what? Yeah, put Seth Rollins. Do a repeat of last year's WrestleMania.
Because that's the only way that match is going to be good.
Because last year it had no stakes. It was a Paul Heyman on a pole match last year.
Yeah, and now, like, now who knows who will be left of the division, and then what are they gonna do with Seth Rollins? Because they already did Seth versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
They literally did that in WrestleMania 39. I watched it in person.
Oh man, that's so much ass.
What would they do? Austin Theory?
Oh no, that's so ass. Oh man,
What would they do? Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins already feuded too.
Oh no, Bronson's gone for like
he's got his
year.
surgery too.
And Braun Strowman.
They said Braun Breaker might be coming back.
He had the mesh put in. Apparently, he had the bad hernia surgery, not they'll be back in 2 weeks surgery. But what else matches were there? I can't remember.
The Intercontinental title with AJ Lee.
Oh, she sucks. Becky sucks right now too. It feels like Becky is sort of like sandbagging because she doesn't respect AJ. That's how it feels to me. And then AJ cut that promo on Raw where nobody reacted. It just feels like AJ
outgrew her character too. She's like 38. She's an almost 40-year-old woman skipping like that. It's weird.
Dressing like she's 12 still. That's a shout out to you, Wooster, friend of the show. It's great to have
I'm sure there's a set of fans that love that though.
Yeah, I'm
that
sure.
Love that she's like little girly.
I'm sure that there's people that talk like this. That
all those neck beards.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sure they're on a list somewhere. Check their high drives.
They're not on Epstein's list.
What was the other match? There was 4 matches, right? It was that.
The other match was CM Punk and Finn Balor. That was a banger. But it had like no stakes.
I don't know. It was like how I feel about Mr. Phil. I've always disliked him. The match was slow. I've also never liked Finn Balor. So it was like a boring match with 2 boring guys, and I guess they did enough. They did enough. It was serviceable.
That's an edgelord take on it, but okay.
What do you mean edgelord? It was.
I liked it. It was an entertaining match.
I got bored by it.
And I'm not even the biggest fan of either of the wrestlers, but they did their part, and the whole theatrics of CM Punk coming out with a Bulls theme, that was really cool.
What I found funny was, you remember like for SummerSlam, they were saying, Michael Cole said, I'm going to quote Michael Cole here. It's one thing to beat Goldberg in the twilight of his career. It's another to beat CM Punk in his prime. And in this match, they were saying, CM Punk looks so old and so tired, Michael Cole. And Michael Cole responded like, he might be tired, he might be older, because Father Time catches up with everybody. What happened? What happened in these 4 months in these 6 months where now CM Punk is the old man? What happened to CM Punk's prime? Was his prime only those like the 6 months he's been champion? What happened?
Because I feel like CM Punk's prime was definitely before.
Yeah, but like at the SummerSlam, he was saying like, "Oh, CM Punk's in his prime." That's what Michael Cole was saying.
But also, I believe that word is being overused, and it's also subjective because you can have a prime at more than one point of time. Look at Michael Jordan.
I mean, yeah, look at I'll bring this to UFC and MMA. Look at Randy Couture winning the heavyweight belt at like 45.
Arguably, CM Punk was probably in his prime in wrestling, and then he went to UFC and was humbled.
Oh, he's not a fighter. He's not I'm not even here to debate him as like an athlete because he's not an athlete.
It's just all subjective.
What's that thing? Maicey? He's not a real athlete. He's a wrestler.
He's not everybody's taste. He's not my taste, but I definitely respect the hustle.
I'm like I know that Finn Balor and him worked hard in that match, but it just wasn't for me. So like I'm saying I was bored. Maicey saying that it was enjoyable for them. And that's our Elimination Chamber 2026 review. I gotta ask you this, Maicey. Have you been watching AAA?
I haven't been watching it per se. I just watched the clips, and I watched the one that was right after Elimination Chamber. I watched that Jack Cartwheel match. That match was so good.
Oh, Jack Cartwheel he was excellent.
Dragon Lee, why can't Dragon Lee wrestle like that on the main roster?
Because there's nobody that wants to wrestle. So Triple A, we're gonna talk about this now, ladies. Yeah, I'm gonna put over Triple A. Triple A, booked by The Undertaker, is the best wrestling promotion in North America. That's the best wrestling show in North America. The wrestling is good. The character building is good. Grande Americano, not original. Grande Americano is the biggest face in Mexico right now.
I like how they do. It's like that Bret Hart complex there, where that one is the good guy in Mexico, but he's a bad guy in America.
But the thing is, in America, both Grande Americanos are sort of like bad guys.
But they're cheering the OG Grande Amaro Kano.
yeah.
They cheered Chad Gable allegedly.
But we see that, and then like seeing Pimpinella on the stretcher.
It literally looked like one of those Mexican
It's
like
it's
a
telenovela.
variety hour
Yeah.
like skit with him on. He's who's this person in a mask beating up this person that's supposed to be another person in disguise.
Yeah, and then
It's like when Hurricane would be Gregory Helms.
didn't you think that Grande should have given Pimpinella a kiss to like make her feel better?
Yes, and he would have.
He would have just kissed her on the mouth, and it would have been great, and we would have all cheered. At the end of that show, they were saying like "Gracias, Taker."
Oh, that's why they were saying that. I didn't even figure out like why are they saying Undertaker? Why are they cheering for Undertaker?
Yeah, because Undertaker is the head booker of AAA. Him, Jeremy Borash, and Abyss are the guys that are there, and because Undertaker gets, Undertaker is an old school guy, and like he grew up in Texas, so he grew up like around watching Mil Mascaras, according to what he said on Cody's podcast, and so like Texas big lucha territory. So him doing that, and also Undertaker, AAA has always been like the sports entertainment promotion in Mexico. So those AAA fans that are staying there for Undertaker, and they're staying there for the guys in AAA, and those guys are getting over like Vikingo now is so much further along than where he was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Like
Because they made him a heel.
they made him a heel because the fans didn't like him in general. But you put him and Dorian Roldan, who's been like Dorian Roldan. Let me explain this to you. Maicey is like the Vince McMahon of AAA, like evil heel owner.
And then Omos is on their team, right?
Omos, yes,
and they're called El Ojo, where they like the division, but the eye instead.
So I absolutely AAA in Mexico is like one of my favorite things. Like Maicey knows, like I love lucha libre. I love like we grew up like loving like Rey Mysterio.
Oh, we used to watch it all the time.
Like even like in on Galavision and on Telemundo, we'd watch
we watched Rey Mysterio
stuff.
Senior.
Yeah, and this is like a shout out to all mis amigos in internet. Like on the internet, like I've talked to a lot of people in lucha libre. There's this whole like wave of people like hating like the American companies coming in and sort of like Americanizing and sort of gentrifying lucha, and that's sort of happening across the board in Mexico in general, with all these expatriates moving to Mexico to take advantage of like the lower rent there. I think if you get like a $700 apartment in Mexico City, it looks exactly how the big apartments look like on TV.
But are any of the fans in Mexico complaining about AAA?
It appears that it's the gringos from America complaining about it.
Of course, this is white liberals that always have to have that say.
I mean, there are people that are also like the traditional lucha libre fans that don't sort of like them coming on. Like there's some guys that say like, oh, we don't like how Claudio's the heavyweight champion of CMLL because how often is Claudio going to be here? But it's Mexico City, and Claudio lives like in Florida. That flight's like only 4 hours, so he's been making the town like every time he could. Johnny Caballero, the reason that Johnny Consejo, Johnny Nitro, is over in Mexico is because he can speak Spanish and he cuts all his promos in Spanish. And Johnny Consejo was the world champion of AAA, and him working that and then losing to Angel de Oro. That's a big deal there, to have like the guy that was the top guy in the other promotion come in and put on over this other guy in here and making him look so strong and taking his hair. Because when you take someone's hair, you take their whole identity. And I don't know. Maicey, you could take us out, because like I just had this problem with how gringos talk about lucha libre, and like they talk about it from like this. Oh, we just started watching 3 years ago, so we have this.
Because people tend to think that, oh, we have to be, look at this culture. It comes off as that, like, when those, why are all the people going to Africa, rich European people going to Africa to see a safari? It makes it look like, why are you guys looking at this from this perspective instead of trying to see it from the perspective of why everyone else likes it?
Yeah.
You're studying it, almost like sticking your nose up at it and saying like, oh, look at these poor people and look how much they have to try. Let's give them a nice clap. Yeah, it's very what's it called?
The other part about it though that I hate this part. The people who say Thank you so much, AEW, for sending your guys over to CMLL so they can be relevant. Thank you so much, WWE, for coming over so you can make these guys relevant. No, these guys are already relevant in CMLL and in AAA. All that AEW and New Japan, when they send their guys over and their girls over, it's enhancing the show. When WWE came in and saved AAA from they saved it, okay? They saved it, and like they saved it from those guys from stop getting paychecks, and they're enhancing the product. Like that's what's happening.
And they're putting them in the video games. There's literally AAA in the new WWE game coming out. There's a whole there's like the Mr. Iguana. There's Vikingo. There's Flammer. All of those people are in there.
So like I feel like what WWE and WWE and AEW have been doing with these promotions is more along the lines of
exposure.
They give it their exposure and they're enhancing them and there's that talent exchange between these guys, and there's more eyes on everybody. And I think that, and along with like New Japan also having that partnership with, and MLW having a partnership with CML, we're seeing a lot more guys like getting work. And like, you know, and a lot of guys in the AEW don't get to have their work because AEW, they have the Ring of Honor taping and they have the AEW tapings, and they don't have house shows. So being able to work in a CMLL, being able to work in a Stardom, a TJPW, and a New Japan, it gives a lot of these guys chances where they wouldn't get them on AEW TV, where they wouldn't get them on WWE TV. That's where I stand now. But like, if it so happens where all of a sudden, like we get, because AAA is still AAA. If AAA becomes WWE with Spanish, I will be so mad.
Los Super Astros.
Yeah, I will be so mad. If AEW they start to send more guys and more of their guys can't lose to CMLL guys, I'll be pissed. But for now, everything is pretty cool. You know, New Japan had their big show here over the weekend also that I thought was cool. And you guys are going to hear that interview. You guys are going to hear that review coming up next. But thank you, Maicey, for having this talk about Lucha Libre and the Elimination Chamber 2026 with me. You want to give anybody a shout out? Or you say, your pieces?
Not really. I think that, you know, I think that this is gonna be a rebuilding year for WWE, or at least it needs to, because obviously they're now dealing with a post John Cena, post AJ Styles era, and instead of building up new stars, they're still concentrating on Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Like, everybody in the main events for WrestleMania is over 40 this year.
They're relics of the last decade, man.
Yes, Randy Orton is the last remaining member of that class of 02 in of WWE of the Ruthless Aggression era. He's the last person, and he's in a main event at WrestleMania. And it's not anything bad. Randy Orton's one of my favorites, but what's it called? It says something for the WWE that why everybody wants you guys to make new stars and you're not doing it. And whatever new stars you have, like, you know, they're putting all of their money in like Braun Breaker, and then he gets injured, and then what? Now you're going to pivot to Seth Rollins. Like, I love Seth, and these are all people I like. Don't get me wrong. They're all amongst my favorite modern wrestlers. Is like Seth Rollins.
But when did the older guys? Usually these guys, when they hit 40, like before they hit 40, is when they start putting over the next generation. When is the next generation gonna get their turn? When is CM Punk gonna deliver on the "I'm here to help the young guys"? No, he's not here to help the young guys. He's here to make money.
Yes.
But you know, I hope that Roman wins. That's what I'm saying right now. Also, you know, guys, we're gonna do the Road to WrestleMania series coming up soon. You're gonna probably hear my sibling on that too. So stay tuned, and thank you guys so much.
And Suji, of course, winning with the young boy Boston Crab again is a wonderful piece of storytelling that he is basically beating the outsiders with that move. And also the respect between him and Andrade is very good and is very interesting considering the whole Unbound Company United Empire feud going on. a very strong beginning for the USA branch of New Japan, I think, this year.
Yeah. I thought Strong was dead, but apparently Strong lives, as was on the mat. And thank you, Matt, for sharing your opinions on New Japan for the
No
New
problem.
Japan New Beginning in Trenton, New Jersey. When I hear New Jersey and Trenton, it makes me think of noise, smoking weed. But anyway, Snoochie Boochies, thank you for coming here, Matt.
No worries.
Hello, everybody. I know. I said, like, I was out of here, and I know I said I was done, and it looks like I wasn't. You can never say you're done when you say you're done. So, we're gonna talk a little bit of New Japan right now. This is Dr. Lariat, aka Antonio Inokininam, aka Masa My Hero Chonies, aka Kachiori Chibata, aka The Final Ace, and joining me on this review of New Japan New Beginning 2026 is, member of the Polypod. He's in the inner circle. I shouted him as, part of Los Empresarios de la Proscripción. Aquí Taykzy. It's Taykzy time, people. Go ahead, brother.
What's up, Doc? Thanks for having me. What's up, everybody? Always a pleasure to be in here. We got a couple shows to cover and go through. So a lot of good wrestling to close out the year.
Yeah, a couple of good things to open up the year. We're talking, of course, of New Japan Cup, man. Not New Japan Cup. That's gonna come later. We're talking about the New Beginning in USA, and we might as well just start this, in order of interest to me. We'll just go on. We'll go in chronological order. It's never I've been doing that. We'll just do the results, and you'll give me your takes on them. We got Fred Rosser versus David Finlay in the opener. It doesn't feel like Finlay is going anywhere, honestly.
No, it doesn't. This was, I wasn't able to watch this show live, and this was like the one match that people didn't have great things to say about, so I skipped over this one. I'm not the biggest roster guy. I think people that like him generally were watching the strong style shows during the pandemic. I do like David Finlay. He's in a weird spot right now where it's like you said, it doesn't seem like WWE or AEW wants him. I think he's just kind of.
It really feels like they're.
He's not going to be bigger in either the American companies than he is in New Japan. And I think he wants to be in a bigger spot than he is in New Japan, and it's just not going to happen for him.
Yeah, it really feels like WWE and AEW is playing chicken on to who will hire him first, and that sucks because he's a great wrestler. He's great. I like David in ring. He's a serviceable promo. He's got a better look than he did. He has that family name. I feel like anybody would be lucky to have him, but he is where he is.
Yeah, I agree. I think he wasn't great when he first hit the scene, and I think that's what a lot of people remember. But once he joined the Bullet Club and especially formed the War Dogs, I think he really turned a corner. But I think he's just had a hard time getting over that first impression he made on people.
Yeah, it's it's unfortunate. It's a little unfortunate because he's somebody that I do still see something in. This dude he's only 32. Come on, some guys get to be called young guys when they're 42. Looking at you, L.A. Knight. He's not even in his prime like CM Punk. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
Match number 2 was actually one of my favorite matches of this week. Tomohiro Ishii versus Boltin Oleg for the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. My God, Boltin is on a whole nother level. I hope they didn't like let him talk to anybody that's in AEW or WWE. Please leave him alone. I need this guy. This is like if Brock Lesnar went through the New Japan system and wasn't into PP play, water sports.
Yeah.
Bolton was so good in this match, and Ishii Ishii has a certain formula that he works, and it always hits, especially in an American card, and the crowd loved this match. Like they were
Yeah,
loud for this match.
It's really interesting. I got into Ishii very late. Really, I don't even recall watching much of him prior to AEW. I know I saw a little of it, but I really only know Old Man Ishii. And every match does hit the same formula, but it just works every time. So he's a real master of his craft here, and the chop exchange they had towards the end of this match was just incredible.
Yeah. I absolutely love that. Like they were just like chop, and like Oleg is never known for his striking. He's just been someone that throws people, and it's cool. So like him actually like getting this, learning on the fly, like okay, he can actually throw these bombs, these big chops, these lariats, these like this dude needs to learn how to do a Polish hammer. I would love to see him do a Polish hammer. I would love to see him do something.
That's really the only thing I think that's really missing from his game that would really round him out is if he had like a killer, strike. Like Takeshita has like the elbow, Omega and a couple other guys got like the knee. If Oleg had something like that, like a Polish hammer where he really laid it in, I think that would really be like the final touches on him.
Yeah, man. Great match. I love the press slam into the F5. That's like something you would see out of one of the SmackDown games.
Yep.
This dude's a freak of nature. Ishii is also a freak of nature. I believe he also sustained an injury. I'm not sure if it was during this match or it's just like overall like, wear and tear. So
it seems like he's getting banged up in every match right now. So it might just be a cumulative thing.
Let me just put up. Think 5, 4, 3. Yeah, so like we are. I absolutely loved how Ishii. It was like your classic Ishii America match, and Oleg was gaming it. I thought he looked good. He looked good. He looked good in it.
This was my match of the night. I thought a lot of this show was really good. I didn't think anything was quite great, but this match was, I thought, the closest to coming to great.
Yeah, and of course we come to match number 3, made for you and me, brother. This match is made for you and me. We got Ricochet versus Taiji Ishimori, and apparently also this match is for Walker Stewart because he brought up all the Dragon Gate, Teruiman, all that stuff. We have Ricochet, the national champion, versus Taiji Ishimori. The national championship has sort of been like a default cruiserweight title because of the guys that Ricochet's defended against are like Jack Perry, which is where he belongs as a cruiserweight. Titan, and now like Taiji Ishimori. I think the identity of this belt being a super flippy guy, high speed sort of belt has been cool, and I hope they should keep it this way.
That's a great shout. I hadn't realized, but I think that is the way to play it in modern day because there's such a stigma to like a cruiserweight title. And the X division just seems kind of corny when you have to have like the tagline. But if you just have like a cruiserweight title without saying it's a cruiserweight title, I think that's really smart. And that definitely, now that you point that out, I see the dots connecting, especially with Ishimori kind of seeming like a weird defense on the surface when they first announced this.
Yeah. Dot connecting the dots, you know how it is. I really like this. The finish was good. Ishimori is sort of like on a whole. He's on another rise because now he's working face, which he hasn't been doing for like the last 8 years. Like 8 years, man. This is when he joined New Japan. It's 8 years ago, brother. Can you believe it?
It's
That's
crazy how
when
fast time goes by, but it's a nice opportunity for him with the exodus in New Japan. It opens the door for a lot of guys, even guys that have been there for a while, to step up and do something new. So it was nice to kind of see him actually get to come out of the background again.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, we have fourth match of the card: Kushida and Despy versus Price and Jordan Oliver. I didn't watch this. I know I I like Despy, I like Kushida, but this was my get my snacks ready match. So
Yeah, this was another one. This was the other one I skipped over, just because there was no stakes to it.
yeah,
People like Price and Oliver. I don't really have an opinion of them. The few times I've watched them on the Indies, I think they're fine. I think the fact that they're like the class of the Indies just kind of says more about the state of the American Indies than it does really about them. But they're
yeah,
young, and I think they have talent and potential. Just not to the point where I'm like seeking them out to watch.
yeah. Despy over with the Pinche Loco on Price. Next match, another favorite of this podcast, ELP. We have ELP defending the NJPW World Television Championship versus Konosuke Takeshita. They went to the time limit, and then Konosuke beat them. I don't see the reason why they needed to add 5 more minutes to the 15-minute match.
Yeah, I didn't particularly care for that. I think I can't remember if this was spoiled for me or if it was just kind of obvious from the matchup that ELP wasn't going to win. So I guess in that sense, I guess the time limit made sense where that was the only way to keep the belt on ELP. But then they
Yeah.
changed the title anyway. So
Yeah,
I thought this match was pretty good. I mean, these guys always have good chemistry. I'm not the biggest ELP guy. I think he's kind of like a standard bearer in some ways, where it's like
yeah,
he's as good as his opponent in there, and you get Takeshita, who's one of the best guys in the world. They're going to have a good match more times than not, and that's
yeah.
what this was.
Yeah, this was like this was a sprint. They went the whole time limit, and then they had 5 more minutes. Takeshita, of course, wins with the Raging Fire. Man, El Phantasma really loves getting those 50-50 matches with everybody.
Yeah,
Nobody can dominate him. But yeah, hopefully Konosuke does the same thing like Zack Sabre Jr. and defends that belt everywhere. You know,
I would
Tony
have to imagine that's the plan, and I think that's a more natural fit for him.
yeah.
You know,
It's
putting the
it's what he was
IWGP
doing with the international title.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and I think that's the move. I think AEW and New Japan and all these different companies have kind of trialed and errored. But when you're traveling the globe trying to work all the big shows, you just kind of have to be in the mid card. It doesn't work as a main event guy. So I
yeah,
think this is a good spot for him.
yeah. It's because like they're never gonna have him for like actual tours, so it makes sense to use him to get the name out there. Sixth match for the IWGP World Tag Team Championships: the Gates of Agony, Toa Leona and Bishop Khan versus the KO brothers, Oscar and Yuto Ice. You have to say it like that all the time. If you say that,
Yeah.
Ice
Even the announcers,
part.
I usually skip the entrances, but I watched the entrances for this, and I popped for the announcer even doing it.
Yeah. Man, we had Utah Ice having the crowd chant "Bombaclot" like. This match was actually really good. I really like how Toa Leona's like grown over the last couple years. Bishop Khan's always been a solid guy, and like the KO brothers are the best tag team in the world right now, having excellent matches with everybody. I also I would love to see them versus Jackie Rita. That match would probably kick so much ass. But
That was cool.
this match was really good. It was work stiff. There was never any doubt that the KO brothers would win. Like there was zero doubt. But it was played really well. The match was really hard hitting and it was entertaining. That's what you want in a match.
Yeah, I think in general that was kind of like a theme of this show where not a lot of these matches you had a lot of doubt on who was winning, and so every match seemed like it kind of went a little long. I thought they could have maybe trimmed a couple minutes off of this, just because there wasn't the suspense. But I thought they fared well. I think this was an interesting pairing to give them because they're such big guys in New Japan, but they're going against big American guys. So Oscar looked normal sized against Leona and Khan, and Yuto Ice was much smaller than those guys. But their style still worked. They still connected with the crowd, and their offense still worked. So I thought it was a good test for them where they passed. Not like an amazing match, but I thought everyone looked pretty good in this.
Yeah. It was fun. I think someone was trying to come in and do a run-in on us. Maybe. Oh, there they are again. Let's see who's trying to join. Hey. Fauche, my boy. Hey, what's up, Dad? Hey, bud. We have the Pacific Northwest strong in here. We have Seattle and we have Alberta. We have Calgary and Seattle represented here.
Right.
Well, we're just talking about New Japan, new beginnings. You're hitting us at the right time because we skipped over the droll stuff. I will ask you like a quick thing. What do you think about Ishii and Bolton?
I liked it. Yeah, it was cool. It is what it is. Nothing, just meat and potatoes.
Hey man, meat and potatoes. We were talking about Bolton needing to get like his own real big strike. I think a Polish hammer would be perfect for Bolton.
Right.
Something like
I think
that.
his finish isn't great. The rolling fireman carry thing, the kamikaze. It's not a great finish.
The verdict, the gorilla press into the verdict, that should be the finish.
Yeah,
that's the finish. Yeah, we were just talking KO brothers versus Gates of Agony. What do you think on this, man?
Yeah, I like KOB more than I like GOA, but I feel like they've had so many good matches lately that this one isn't like amazing, but it still is fine. But I don't know, GOA is just like a okay team, I think. I like the big guys doing big stuff is cool, but they're not like, I don't think they're amazing or nothing. So that match kind of is what it is for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Bishop Khan is pretty much is what he is at this point, but Hoya Leona has made improvements over the last couple years, so he's really where the potential in that team is.
Yeah, I think once they go he's been really great. Once they go singles, I think he's gonna be a guy that breaks out for them. Anyway, we are coming to the semi-main, which is going to be Athena versus IWGP Women's Champion and New Japan Strong Women's Champion Syuri, the double champ, versus the forever champ Athena. I thought this was a really, really well worked match, really stiff, really athletic. Since there's no women here, two very beautiful women. Athena is looking good. I can say that. I appreciate her. What did you guys think of the match?
Yeah, it was cool. It's really good. I think Athena, they both don't miss, right? They're both kind of really good. And I think Athena's best thing ROH has going for it, and Shuri rocks. So yeah, great match. I think kind of like predictable finish, but whatever. The match is real good stuff. So enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun. I think, unfortunately, with Shuri and a lot of the top Joshis, I've dipped my toe into what they're doing in Japan, and I kind of expect that when they come over, but they just work like a level lower when they come over. I don't think that's necessarily always because of their opponent. Like Athena, I don't think she needs to work down to, but a lot of the time I think they are working down to the American women.
Yeah, a lot of the stutter stepping. Yeah. Dude, the stutter stepping, the little like, okay, let me kick, but I'm not going to kick you all the way. Like, no, You need to see them like kick as hard as possible and hit them in the face. That's what you need in Joshi. You need beautiful women kicking each other as hard as they can in the face and stomping on guts. That's what you need. Which, this match did deliver on that. I wasn't surprised about the finish. Tony Khan doesn't care if Athena loses outside of Ring of Honor. So I didn't expect Athena to lose here. I really like the match. Really good, athletic, and hard hitting.
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
Worthy of the semi-main.
Worthy of a semi-main, especially like I think they got how much time they got? They had about 17 minutes, like 18 minutes altogether, and I think that's great. That's great. Now it is time for our main event of the evening. It is the IWGP Global Heavy Q Oja. Yeah, I said it like that. Yoda Tsuji versus Andrade El Idolo. Sorry, I turned into Hermie there. So like, we have Andrade versus Yoda, like hot guy match, guys with hot long hair match, guys who love lucha match. This was a lucha match. This ruled. I love the work in here. It was hard hitting. It was fast paced. A lot of the reason that Yoda doesn't work for New Japan is because the style that's prevalent in there is not something that's lucha libre. Like it's a style that's more, it's more strong style. It's more like Americanized for like But Yoda, he works like lucha libre, and a lot of times guys won't meet him there. But Takeshita and especially Andrade met him where he stood, and they made him look great. Andrade was a great base for him because he got to do all the cool flippy tijeras, tilt-a-whirl moves. There was a bunch of close calls in here that, I think Andrade got the message on him, and then he kicked out. And then Andrade kicked out of a two Gene Blast. I know my partner Arturo, like he really thought that Andrade could win here. I said on JCast, shout out to you, Joel, that he definitely was. You definitely cannot have Yoda Tsuji lose the second of his big matches, especially in America, if you're trying to establish Yoda Tsuji as the man in your promotion right now. It wouldn't make sense to do it now, maybe later on, but like in his second, sort of title defense, you can't have Yoda Tsuji lose. This is the guy that you're building up as being the guy in your promotion. And I really hope they don't follow the formula of having him lose in a V4. Let this guy cook until let him have the belt. Let him do something. Let him see where business goes with him, because business seems to be good under Tsuji, because they did 2,500 here. They did a sellout crowd for Osaka with Jake Lee. We'll talk more about Jake later. But this match was awesome. I like this match. And he submitted, him submitting Andrade was the real kicker for me, because he did a lot of like body work on here, because I love the body shots that he's throwing.
Yep.
It's great. Like I think we were watching some old lucha matches, and like there was this guy, Chavo Guerrero Classic. He threw a lot of body shots to work the ribs, and you don't really see that nowadays. Guys just like throw those like big long haymakers, but Tsuji is the one guy throwing body shots, and you can make body shots look like they hurt, and you can hit them and not hit too hard. So I really like the work here, and winning with the Boston Crab, and like it was great. It was great. I love that. It was dramatic. The close calls there. I bid on a couple of the near falls.
Yep.
Yeah. So what did you guys think?
Yeah. No, I completely co-sign what you're saying. I think with Tsuji, you're in an interesting spot with you being in like this new era. Not to quote Paul Levesque, but you have to establish this guy as the guy, and I think wrestling fans in general kind of tend to get ahead of themselves with the booking. you got a guy with 2 titles. It makes sense to take the lesser title off him. But you have to establish this guy. You can't have him lose this early on to the reign because he needs to be your draw, not just in Japan, but internationally, like you said. So having this U.S. win here was nice. But I think booking him against Andrade also was genius for everything you said because it did feel like a real 50-50 match, which makes it a quality main event. And Andrade can match all those styles. You know, the lucha base, just like Tsuji, but also has experience working in Japan and working in the States. So they were able to blend all that stuff together. And then the finish, like you said, which is a nice little storytelling tool that he's beaten now to catch the Andrade with the Boston Crab. So it adds to like that national hero against like foreign invaders that like Tsuji can beat you with a young boy move.
Yeah, it was great. What do you think, Fauche?
Yeah, it was awesome match. I kind of thought that he would lose. I was like, yeah, he shouldn't lose in his first title defense, but I thought they'd want to get that belt off him. But I think like with the whole kind of perception, however much it exists, that AEW always big brothers, New Japan. I don't think you can have him like he says he's only going to defend that belt internationally against international guys, but I don't think you can have him lose to an AEW guy. Like besides Takeshita, and maybe not even that. Like I would avoid that so that you don't have your champion who is kind of whether he becomes their actual ace is the guy right now. Like you can't have him losing to another company person. I think so. Have him hold that belt for a while and lose it to a New Japan guy whenever he does.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, match was good. Andrade rips. He's glad he's getting to work real matches again, doing his thing and styling and on the juice, looking good and having good matches.
Yeah, man. Looking good and juicy, having those baddie section. I think that's great. Maybe he's gonna make Abuelita Bandita his next baddie.
You know what's funny? I was thinking like in this because like he always has the spot with like the women in the crowd, but this crowd was like 98% dudes. Like all the first few rows, I was like, he can't do that spot tonight. There's like no women at this show.
There's no women in the front row. He took his belt off, and like the guys were like, they screamed at that when he took his belt off. Like he got the Jeff Hardy pop, but like it was all dudes doing the Jeff Hardy like when he was taking his belt off. I'm like, you know, good for him, good for Andrade. Saw Justin Wang in the front row. That was pretty cool. YouTube personality. Moist Critical. Also, you know, I liked sort of what they did with the Fantastica Mania this year. They highlighted a bunch of guys. I think Soberano Jr. got over huge during this week. Miki Matoy definitely loves her some Soberano. Like, she kept saying, es mi novio, like when he came out, like, oh, okay. But the Mystico versus Soberano Jr. match, which is the last match on the card for the CMLL Light Heavyweight World Title. And I think Mystico still has the MLW middleweight belt too. So maybe he should bring both of those belts back.
I think he vacated that one. I think
he vacated it. Oh, man.
I think Kushida has it now, oddly enough.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's the belt that Kushida had on in the tag match. I was like, what belt does he have? So yeah, it was a really good match. Of course, Mystico was gonna go over to send the crowd happy, and you know he did his oral farming for like I think an hour. I think that's what the report said. You know, you gotta with Mystico just be out there. We'll go over some of New Japan. Hey guys, did your brackets get busted by Ishii getting hurt?
I think I actually went out like right away, but I might because he's a buy, right?
Yeah. No. Kojima's replacing him. So in the New Japan Cup, our first two matches were this morning. Aaron Wolf dropped to Don Fale. You know, God damn it! Like this busted my bracket. I picked him like to go like at least to the semis. So like that made me so mad. How about Tay said that he picked Fale in this match.
Yeah, I think I think it's pretty clear what they're doing with Wolf, that he's just going to feud with House of Torture all year. They're going to slow roll him, get him ready, because he is. It's easy to overlook, but his legit first match ever was the Tokyo Dome. So this is a guy that's 2 months into his career, And you think about typical wrestlers, you don't see them on TV till they're 3-4 years in, or even in Japan, they do a couple years in the dojo and then they do young boy matches for a good couple months. So I think they're going to be very protective with him. So when I saw he was facing Fauche in the first round, I was like, okay, he's going to lose, and he's going to lose probably for the first couple months here, as they built him up for like that hero's journey. But they can protect him with the House of Torture and do all the House of Torture bullshit, so he's not losing clean.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the match. I'm sure it's bad. I'm sure that's part of the reason, or the main reason, a lot of people are angry. But I think it's surprising how many people thought that he was going to just get the rocket ship push and be like undefeated to start his career when he's still learning on the job.
Yeah, brother. This is ghetto hours, man. And then in the other New Japan Cup match, Yuya Uemura beats Great Okan, not with the deadbolt, but with the high fly cross. Crazy. Great Okan worked a pretty serious match here, which was the surprising part to me. But Yuya, I'm gonna break all whatever. Yuya's my pick to win the whole cup. He makes sense as one of the first big opponents from this Reiwa Gen to face off with Yoda Tsuji. But also, I'd be remiss not to say this, because in the tag match with Masatori Yasuda, Shota Umino debuted his original look when he came back for the first time from Rev Pro, and God, why did he ever go away from this?
You think it's like last year though, where it's like when he shaved his head, it's like, oh, he's in line for a big push now that he's got no hair, and it was like,
nope,
they didn't push him. It's like, oh, he's in line for a big push now that he's changed his gear up, and it's like, are they gonna pull the trigger?
Nah. But man, he looked great in this gear. And this is that's it for the New Japan portion of the show. Thank you guys for coming on here and doing that with me.
Of course.
I think I forgot to get your guys' plugs on for the last one. So whoever wants to do it, go ahead and do your plugs first.
Yeah, well, since we're talking about Dragon Gate, I am doing the Dragon Gate section in the Social Suplex newsletter that comes out about once a month or so. So some of these shows that we're covering, I think everything we're covering will be in my next article. You can also find me on YouTube, where I review wrestling and talk NBA as well. That's my screen name, Taykzy, Taykzy. That's for YouTube and all other socials.
Yeah. How about you, Fauche? I'm gonna talk for Fauche, my favorite Albertan, besides you, MJ. I love you, MJ. What's the name of your bands, dude?
Okay, so I'm in a punk band called Half Dead, and a black metal band called Drip Feeder, and an alt rock band called Good Rumor, and then like a grindcore band called Oklahoma. It's all on Spotify or Bandcamp, so if you like music, you can listen to it there.
Yeah, the links will be in the episode description. And nothing rocks to me more than Dragon Gate right now. I know there's a couple of people who are sort of whatever on this, but we're gonna talk about Uno Dos Tres. And first off, we have, of course, the opening match of the card was Luis Mante defeating Kazuma Kimura. With La Volte. It was a good little match. It was a squash match. Luis Mante, he's been a little bit directionless. He's just been in the face side of tag matches. but he hasn't really been doing much of anything since Flamita and Oni El Bendito went back home. In
Yeah,
the
I think with Monte, so he finally got to go back home. I think after King of Gate, so he
Yeah.
had just come back a couple shows before this, and I think we'll see how it is. But they've been very protective of him. He is kind of just doing aimless tag matches for the most part, but he's basically won every match he's in. And the ones he's lost are like the ones where he's teaming with like Ho Ho Loon and Ho Ho takes the pin.
yeah,
So
love you,
I-
Ho Ho. Yeah, bro. Ho Ho is the office. Ho Ho is the office there, bro.
Yeah.
From the Cruiserweight Classic, that ho-ho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Also,
now-
Jason Lee from the Cruiserweight Classic. Both
Yeah.
those guys in Dragon Gate.
Ho Ho Loon is responsible for all their international booking and stuff too. So
Yeah, it's Ho Ho and La Estrella. So in the 4-way tag match, Natural Vibes of Strong Machine J and UT had defeated let me say this, Paradox, made up of Kagatori and Susumu Yokosuka, which is the old man team, and those guys rock. And
Original
Mandai
group.
Ryu and Punch Tominaga, my favorite guy, Punch Tominaga. And of course, the main team that they had to defeat was the All Asia Tag Team Champion. Yes, the All Asia Tag Belts, the oldest set of tag belts in. I think it's the oldest set of tag belts in the world.
I think
Yes.
oldest active, yeah.
Oldest active tag belts in the world. You got like guys like the Can-Am Connection, Kobashi and Kikuchi, guys like Ricky Dozan, the team of Antonio Inoki and Giant Baba, and now you have the team of Sumo Dandy, Don Fuji, and Masaki Machizuki. I was surprised. I wasn't really surprised who won. I was surprised about what happened with the tag title shot because like the winners of this got a tag title shot later, and we'll at the Koruaken show, and we'll tell you what happens then later. It was an alright match. It's your usual
Yeah.
like they weren't trying to light the world on fire, but it was basic.
It was supposed to be like a preview for that Koruaken match. I don't think it really hit on that level, but
Yeah.
it was a fine get everyone on the card match.
Yeah. Now next is my match of the night. Toru Owashi versus Jiro Shimbashi. Defeats him by white flag. So I want to tell you this, Fauche. So Toru Owashi, he's like a big hoss guy, sumo guy, does choke slams, power bombs, lariats, that sort of stuff. Beats the
Hell
brakes
yeah.
off this guy whose gimmick, Jiro Shimbashi's gimmick is he's a salary man. And so he wears a suit and tie to the ring, has an umbrella, walks the ropes. In this match, Toru Owashi didn't go for any of that shit and beat the crap out of Jiro. And when he was going to the top for a top rope splash, Jiro brought up the white flag like you would see in Looney Tunes.
Oh, like surrender.
Yeah. Well, I love this. I love Jiro Shimbashi. He's on my list for Wrestler of the Year.
Whoa.
He's nailing the comedy gimmick. He's slowly introducing new things, like this match, and the Koruaken show. He introduced a little bit different styling, so
dude.
it's keeping it fresh, but it's very fun. And comedy wrestling, especially in Japan, can be kind of hit or miss with the cultural differences. But Shimbashi is just fun every single time.
Yeah. Next match, one of my favorites. We have Genki Horiguchi, one of the OG. He's from the Class 0 for Dragon Gate. He was challenging once again. I think it was before his 7th Open the Brave Gate title versus, of course, Tanahashi's bastard son, Ryoyo Tanaka. Really fun match. Ryoyo has this formula to his matches now with the cross saber, with all that. I just love these two, the way they work, the backslide flash finishes. Great work, man. And of course, Ryoyo is gonna go over because he looks like the ace, and I think he might be the guy that's gonna beat Kikuta.
I do
that's my
too.
point of
I
view.
think. We'll get to Kikuta here in a little bit, but I think there's no clear direction for Kikuta anymore, and I think Tanaka's kind of like the hottest guy in the company, both physically and in push.
Yeah.
And I thought the work here with Genki was really fun. Genki's an elder statesman. He's not moving too great anymore, but he's so smart in the ring that he was able to put that all into the match and make it the story of the match.
Dude, he's
So,
only 48. He's only a
he's-
year older than CM Punk. Come on.
He moves about as well as CM Punk. So
Yeah, that's right. We have Love and Peace defending the Parejas belt, the Open the Twin Gates belt, versus Dragon Dia and Marcus Mathers, who came out wearing a matching Dragon Dia mask. Pretty cool match. Marcus Mathers, of course, one of those guys under WWE ID deal. I don't know if he still is, but he had a. Go ahead.
they've been promoting it on the tour, so I think he still is.
Yeah. So I don't know if we should be worried or not, but it was a fun match with Marcus Mathers in it. Jackie Reed is my favorite tag team outside of KO Brothers. They rule so much. They're able to get something out of these guys. Dia is sort of like, I don't know what's up with him, but he's sort of like on a little bit of a downfall. But
Yeah, it's interesting with Dia because he's the guy New Japan likes the most. It seems like he's on Best of Super Juniors again for the third or fourth year in a row.
yeah.
But he's the guy in D-Curves that Dragon Gate doesn't really push. So he's kind of their fall guy, with Yoshioka back in the fold and Tanaka having his Brave Gate run that he's on. I thought this match was pretty clunky. I couldn't really get into it. I thought Jackie Rita were basically flawless all of 2025. I thought this was kind of a rare miss.
They didn't really mesh well. They didn't. I don't know if it's because of Marcus Mathers. This is their first thing with Marcus Mathers, and Marcus doesn't really get the lucha thing. I mean, he gets the indie high flyer stuff, flippy guy, but this is his first time working real lucha. So he just kind of looked lost.
I think he's been fairly clunky. Not necessarily bad, but he's been hit or miss. But I thought they also just weirdly didn't have chemistry with Dia, even though they've been working with him for years. So it was just a weird off night at the office. But I guess they were due for it because, like I said, they were flawless all of 2025. So they had, they were going on 13 months of perfect tag work, basically. So we were due. But I still thought this match was good. It just doesn't hit at that level. They were my tag team of the year last year. So, I kind of expect greatness every time out. And this fell short of that.
Yeah, it was whatever. The next match, we have Saipatra teaming with Team 2000X. Ozawa couldn't make it to this card, so he sent Masaki Tamiya, the chairman, and the godfather of Team 2000X, Takashi Sugiura, to face Gaja Dakora with Big Boss Shimizu, Ishin, Kai, Monora, and Kato. It ends in a double countout. It was it was what it was. It was more of a long promo. The promo after felt longer than the match.
Yeah,
and they set up a triple threat tag team match, which would be happening at the Koruaken card, which just felt like a vehicle for. I really want to see Kitamiya versus Big Boss. That's a match I want to see so bad.
That would be cool. I think. I don't understand this storyline. It's not working because Saipatra. I know Arturo's been on this show in the past talking about Shun's journey to face, and it felt like Saipatra was like a tweener team, and they were going to slowly start turning face over time. It feels like they've just gone back into being full heel, but they're
just heels.
They're feuding with the other heel group, and they're both working heel, and this feud just won't end. And they're both just trying to get heat, and it just sucks. And then they're incorporating Team 2000X, so there's a third heel team into this, and I just don't get what they're doing.
Hey, Tay, this sounds like something that's happening over in Jacksonville. My favorite match of this series has been Shun getting Big Boss Shimizu disqualified for unmasking him.
That was fine, and that was the start of it. So
because Big Boss had gone on an undefeated streak for when he came back. So
and just to correct you, Shun did end up pinning Shimizu in this match. I think he caught him with the Frankensteiner.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
which was weird too, because Shimizu seems like the guy that should be protected, and they just kind of did like a roll up finish.
Yeah, it was odd. And now we have the open and triangle gate match, which I did not like at all. It turns out it was Taykzy time again. The Natural Vibes team of Taykzy, Aki, and Guichi defeated the champions Love and Peace of Benkei Hio and Mochizuki Jr. and the Paradox team of BB Hulk, Dragon Kid, and Yamato.
I remember those guys.
Yeah, dude.
Those
You
are
were
good.
watching Dragon Gate
US
13 years ago, bro.
Yeah, those are the first three dudes I know.
Paradox would be your way in, just like it was my way in, because that's that faction is all like the guys from that era of DG USA.
Yeah, I love Yamato.
Naruki Doi's in that group too.
Yamato has been like the best Open the Dreamgate champion. Shout out to you, Dan, for you agreeing with me on that. He was the last like legit champion. So like I didn't expect Aki and Guichi to win. Like this is like one of their first title matches, and like the Open the Triangle Gate titles actually mean something in Dragon Gate. They're because like it's sort of like, oh, your faction is like the best faction, and these titles do change hands like quickly, but it doesn't feel like it's been earned by Natural Vibes because these guys Guichi and Aki really haven't done much.
Yeah, they essentially just graduated from their young boy thing about a month ago, but Vibes did that tease at the January Koruaken where it seemed like they were finally going to break up after Shimizu had turned on them and beat them all, and then the kids joined the group, which has given them new life, and it's been one of the main stories of the promotion. So I'm not shocked that they won here. But I just think it's been clunky. It's odd because Daiki Yanaguchi, who's now just Gucci, was my favorite of the three Mochizuki Dojo guys, and I think he's fit Natural Vibes like a glove. But then Aki is like the polar opposite, where he's just an odd fit. I feel like he hasn't really risen to the occasion, and so these guys are getting both the showcase spots, and like Gucci's flourishing and Aki's kind of like floundering, and it just makes the pacing of these matches really off, and I think this match really suffered from it. And I think with this being the semi-main event, it was just way too cute of a match. I'm surprised it's gotten as good of reviews as it has as like the standout match of the show, because I'm with you. I was pretty low on this. The first whole half of this match was like comedy, which is just weird for a semi-main event of a major show.
Especially with these guys, like I mean, like, because BB Hulk, I know people like whatever, he's older, but like him and Paradox have been way more. They've been winning a lot, and like with Yamato there, it's like that's a strong ass team. And Love and Peace has been having like bangers, like absolute bangers as trios champs, and the KZ coming in here with like the young boy, basically a young boy unit. It didn't make much sense to me, but they're the new Triangle Gate champions. I do like that Aki has like those Stegosaurus spikes on his outfit. I think that's cute.
Yeah, it's an interesting look. He's trying stuff, so I do like that Dragon Gate's willing to try stuff, but not all of it's clicking. But
talking about not clicking, we have the Open the Dream Gate match. We have, of course, challenging Yuki Yoshioka, the man who has been bestowed the High Fly Flow, trying to take the championship from Madoka Kikuta. I liked parts of this match. Specifically, I like the finishing stretch, and the beginning part. The middle of the match was where it dragged for me, and then came all the run-ins. But like I thought the finish was good. I thought the match was okay. I like Kikuta a lot. I do not like this match. I really like the Johnny Valletta match, which has been his defense of this run.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Carnival, All Japan Champions Carnival, because he's going to be facing big guys, and I think that's his wave. He's going to need big guys to push him. He's going to need to like not fight from the bottom, but fight like guys his size and get hit hard.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like he's not being motivated in these big guy small guy matches. I know like it's usually like a really simple formula. Also Yuki, since he's come back, he same problem with Daya. Like they're not really, they won the belts and then they lost them, and then like after that it's just they've lost something. I'm not sure what, but they've lost something.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I think both these guys are really talented. So being put in this position makes sense, but they just can't click together. And Kikta, I think, is at his best. Like all the Dragon Gate guys, Dragon Gate is traditionally a smaller company. I think the guys are a little bigger than normal, but they know how to work that lucha puro style. And so Kikta's trying to work like this big stalling heel, which just doesn't work. So like when he wrestled Valletta, he had to work his more normal style, and that match was great. And I think, like you were saying about the championship carnival, I think he'll be pushed to that too because he won't just be able to be the big plotting big man. He has to actually work. This match, I don't really know how I feel about it because I liked the second and third halves of this match. I thought the first third of this match was just really boring. It took me 4 times to get through this. I tried to watch it live. I tried to watch it late at night, so I fell asleep both those times. And then the second time I watched it when I woke up for work, so I was just getting ready. The fourth time I finally actually made it through paying attention from beginning to end, and I did like 2/3 of this match, so I rated it fairly high. But the cliche is, or the caveat is, it took 4 sittings, so how good of a match could it really be?
Yeah. Sometimes I watch these cards. Sometimes I watch these shows while taking a shower, so I'm not really watching. Yeah, so I want you guys, not you two, to imagine like me watching my body as like I'm hearing like these wrestlers smack each other across the chest. That's what I do.
I can't
Wait,
say
and
that.
TV in your bathroom?
No,
Or is it on your phone?
I bring the iPad. Watch on my phone. I bring the iPad. I connect it to the Bluetooth speaker. I'm
Okay,
not
okay.
I'm not a savage.
I'm just trying to paint a picture in my head here.
All right. And then this brings us to the Koruaken show. 6-man. I liked TroublesWres. That's what I'm gonna say. I liked it. A lot of people don't like it. I liked it.
Hey,
Yeah.
sorry, before we hop to the Koruaken show, can I hit you with some breaking news?
What's up, brother?
Well, it's not Dragon Gate though, but David Finlay just debuted in AEW.
The War Dogs are in AEW.
Yeah, he beat up Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy for his boys.
Wow. I guess the War Dogs. I guess I did make this prediction because this kind of fits. Awesome. This awesome. That's awesome. Fauche, you bring it up because I made this prediction that Tony is the one who bought the Bullet Club IP.
Oh yeah.
Because he's still selling Bullet Club Gold merchandise on the website on AEWshop.com. Go to AEWshop.com to get all your AEW merchandise. So, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Instantly, our New Japan review gets made inconsequential, but at least it's saved on the same review show to be consequential. Hey. Man, well, good luck to David Finlay.
I think that's the best fit for him. So
yeah, trios champion.
Before we jump to Koruaken, I do think TroublesWres is getting a little too much flack. I didn't think it was a bad show. I just thought it was just a kind of their show. So in terms of like show in a vacuum, I think it was fine. It was a big miss because it was one of their big 4 shows, and you can't recommend it. Which when you have quarterly specials essentially, and one of them is just a whiff, that's not great.
Yeah, not good. But we're in a Koruaken show now. We have Gaja Kadora, Kai Ishin, and Kakuta, the champion, opening the show versus Monte, Marcus Mathers, Yuki Yoshioka. It was short. It was painless. Marcus Mathers actually takes the fall in this match. We actually also a little bit of breaking news for the Gringo Loco Lucha versus the World. We have Gringo Loco. We have the guys from Dragon Gate who are representing Dragon Gate. It's going to be, I think, Hio, Taykzy, and fuck me, I forgot the last
Yoshioka.
guy. Yuki Yoshioka. So that should be fun. Yeah. It should be fun times. The next match, of course, my match of the show, Kazuma Kimura defeated Jiro Shimbashi.
This was
after this,
Kimura.
dude. After this, Fauche, I'm gonna show you some Jiro Shimbashi. That's gonna be for SNES. Little preview.
Send me some links.
Good stuff. This was Kimura's first singles win in Dragon Gate, so he sold that at the end of the match here. It's kind of funny to sell it shock when you're beating a comedy character, but this was kind of, in a way, his graduation up the card against another one of his classmates. That was the story of this match is Jiro cut the promo before that him and Kimura were in the dojo at the same time. And he gave a little backstory. So he actually wrestled this match as seriously as Jiro could because he had beef with Kimura, which was really fun. And then just to go back to the opening tag, I was surprised by this match. Typically, your openers don't have much stakes, and this one didn't have any stated stakes. But I did think Monte and Mathers were quietly getting positioned for the next two Dreamcade shots. Monte is just like another filler for Kikta in Japan, and then Mathers because they're doing the U.S. tour. So I was surprised that Mathers took the pin here. I didn't expect to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty weird that he took the pin because he didn't take any other pins during his whole time there.
Right. Yeah, they protected him, so it was odd that he lost there, but again, it's the opening match, pretty inconsequential, so maybe they just weren't planning what I was thinking.
Yeah, so next match, of course, is another 8-man tag. I love that Jiro busted up. That Frankensteiner he did was incredible.
Yeah, he's for a guy that debuted in a comedy gimmick, I think he's actually a pretty decent wrestler.
Yeah, it's the total opposite of Staka Ichikawa, who couldn't do any moves. Man, you know what? If Danhausen watched some Staka Ichikawa matches, I think it'd be better for his career. Moving on, we have Natural Vibes made up of Guichi, Aki, Taykzy, and UT versus the jobber team of Mandai Ryu, Punch Tomonaga, Takashi, and Yamato. Well, Yamato is not a jobber, but you're not gonna win a match with Punch Tomonaga on your team.
No, but I do think
we also
Punch,
had that rap.
You were giving Punch praise earlier, and I think Punch very quietly is like the workhorse in a lot of these matches that he's in. He's usually the guy in there during the bulk of the match, and I think he is quietly still a good wrestler, even in this portion where he's just a jobber of his career.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and talk about this next match, which is Paradox versus Love and Peace. Paradox beats Love and Peace. I think it was Kagatora getting the win over Jackie? Yeah. So that might set them up, Kagatora up for the next tag team match with him and Susumu, which should be a good match. That should be a good match.
Yeah, Kagatora and Suzumu have the Ryokyo tag belts. I think is how you say that company.
Yeah.
And they're a fun tag team. I forget that they are both original Jimmies, so they've had a long time of tag work and they mesh well. I think they're oddly like having some of the best years of their career this late into their career. So that'll be a really fun tag match. A good rebound for Jackie Rita.
Yeah, man. Following that match, we do have, of course, one of my favorite matches. You're going to get a kick out of this, Fauche. We have the champions, Sumo Don Fuji and Masaki Mochizuki, the All Asia Tag Team Champions, fighting Strong Machine J, the son of Super Strong Machine, and the Dragon Tatsumi Fujinami.
Fujinami.
Fujinami. This worked really well. Fujinami actually did some shit here, and he's 72, 73 years old now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
They kept him protected, but he moved well. He looked every bit of 73, but he actually moved well in there.
So, like, what's the vibe of Dragon Gate? 'Cause when I think Dragon Gate, I think like small, flippy, kind of early American 2000 sort of vibe that they influence, where it's like kind of every match, like 3-on-3, 4-on-4 tags, guys jumping all over the place. Is that still like kind of the thing, or is it more mixed?
I would say that's still the heart of it, but it's not quite at that golden age level. And I think every company is kind of homogenized somewhat over the last decade or two.
Yeah.
So they feel a little bit more typical Japanese company. I think that's partially just different talent. And I think that's partially everyone's kind of bit some of the Dragon Gate style and made it their own.
Who?
But a lot of this roster has been there since like the beginning. So Dragon Gate started in 04. A lot of these guys were there in 04, like Fuji and Mochizuki. So they're doing kind of like the old man tag team here with the All Asia tag belts. So you get different vibes here and there, like special attraction matches like this on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I thought it was really fun. I like that when he did his train of the dragon screws. I love that. And
this was a lot of fun. I think it's really rejuvenized Don Fuji. I thought Fuji pretty much seemed done last year, but he's been able to turn back the clock since getting the tag belts. Mochizuki's the ageless wonder. He'll always seem like he's in his prime, but Mocha Fuji has been very fun in 2026, which I did not expect to see.
Yeah. Oh man, we are now going to move on to possibly, one of the worst matches of the year, the 9-man tag team 3-way elimination match. Asai Patra versus Team 2000X versus Gaja Dokoro. Team 2000X wins by countout. That's it.
This is the one match I haven't watched yet on the show. I'm dreading it before even reading what the results were. I'm not fond of this feud. I knew kind of where it was going. I know that's the post-show match that they announced, the cage match, which was like the logical conclusion for this with the next big show in Nagoya. But I'm not looking forward to this feud going on for the next 2 months.
Yeah, it's not good. We are, of course, we're going to go ahead and talk this last match here. We have, of course, opened the Brave Gate. Again, Tanahashi's bastard son, Ryo Tanaka, defeats Jason Lee with the Stardust Press. I think you might like him, man. Fauche. He's a lot like... He's basically Tanahashi and Naito fused into one wrestler. And he's like tiny.
Yeah, he's very young. I think he's in year 3, but he really started to put it together in the middle of 2025. Oh, he's 27, so he's a little older than I thought. But they put the Brave Gate belt on him, and everything just kind of clicked since then. So his Brave Gate run's been very good. He's worked kind of like the Who's Who guy, so I think any of the Brave Gate matches you could pick out and enjoy, including this one. I've seen people not so high on this because Jason Lee's in Gacha Dokoro, and they've leaned very heavy into the heel shtick lately, which I don't love. But I didn't think it really took away from the match here. I think this match still was fun, and I think it added to the drama without bogging it down with too much bullshit.
The Brave Gate's like the lighter weight title, right? Is that what it is? Kind of.
Yeah,
Yes.
essentially their cruiserweight or middleweight title.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was it from Dragon Gate. I'm really liking what Dragon Gate's been putting out. This has been sort of an improvement over like what they've been putting out over the last couple of weeks. But I see the directions of the show, and I think where we're going with some guys makes a lot of sense. I really do think that Ryoya is going to be the guy that takes the belt off to Kikuta.
Yeah, so Roya, this was defense 9 for him. Pac is the all-time defense record at 11, so that's the story they're telling here. He tied Dragon Kid, who was second all-time with 9 defenses. So I think defense 10 will be Kid, which will be a big match. And then I think Tanaka's going to ultimately break the record, and then defense 12 may even just be against Kikta for the Dream Gate, and you do the unified match again or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds great, man. So yeah, we're about to go kick it off, and thank you guys for joining me. This has been the Dragon Gate review. Enjoy all these reviews. I think I'm just gonna make this the last review of the show. We've talked everything from CZW celebrating the 27th anniversary to Action Dean Wrestling to the Elimination Chamber, which to the New Beginning, to Night 1 of the New Japan Cup, to these 2 Dragon Gate shows. And there's a lot of wrestling to watch there, ladies and gentlemen. You are not stuck just watching one. Also, me and my brother did also review the AAA show. So, there's a whole lot to watch. There's a whole lot going on. Keep watching wrestling. I think you guys might like it. And yeah, thank you guys so much.